Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. I'm your host, Sir Stephen Topham the third at your service. Now we're going to talk about responsibility. Now, a lot of you have, like I stated, have done this so many times over your life, right? It's 100 years of a life. We talk about what is more at stake, what is more realistic, what is understanding, what is prerogative to understand and acknowledge, right? You've got to put yourself in a position that you're understanding, right? Responsibility is one thing, but responsibility can go in as many directions in any direction, right? Right? Let me take you an example, right? Porters and guards are not taking full responsibility of what's unfolding, what's acknowledging, what is actually putting them in their faces and saying, "Look, this young man, this person, what God? It's not." When they look at me, they see it as a no joke issue. Why? Because I'm taking responsibility. They are not. Why? Let me give you a scenario that will hit you in the face. Right? Right? Daisy, in one perspective, she has a separate timeline of her own. We had to know that, and we had to take responsibility for it. Right? You have to realise she played it out the way it was meant to unfold for the third generation. The first generation's gone through this, the second generation's gone through, the third generation's gone through this, and you're going to see that repeating loop all the time, right? You got to realise you got a Stephen Topham had a third fat controller not on a platform. What a right? A lot of reporters and guys say we fucked up. We fucked up. Why? It's responsibility they can't handle. So the management comes in, they screw it up because they screwed up because of the actual problem, right? The management don't give a toss. Excuse my language. It makes sense in the longer run when I say it in full language. You can't go through left, right, and centre and say this is the responsibility they got. No, they're sitting in their office doing bugger all. Right? When they sit back and do all the hard work, what is left for you to do? Right? Everything you do unfolds that part of your story or your life or what experience or your life. You're experiencing everything that's unfolding in front of you. But at the same time, you fuck yourselves over because you can't take responsibility of your own actions. But it's not your actions that's the problem here. When the right in my position, right, I have to be on a platform to recorrect all your mistakes. Right? It's not whatever happens on the outside of that building, right? It's basically saying like responsibility can go many directions, right? We all have to talk about it. We all understand what the story's supposed to unfold like, and we know what is supposed to be acknowledged, right? Right, let me tell you something that might uh, make you even fully understand why. Right? You, the porters and the guards are not to blame through this, right? We know that the management fucked up. We know that you're getting orders from them, right? They're not taking the full responsibility of this problem because it's not their fault. But you got to realise they're not allowed to run that railway line, for example, because why? Things unfold on there that's related to me and my family and everything else under the sun, right? But you can't take responsibility of what's unfolding on my family's behalf. Ding, 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 ding. Why? When you read the Thomas the Tank Engine books, you're only getting my childhood half, right? When the other half is on the internet, ding, 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 you're blind as a bat and you don't know what's unfolded, right? You're totally in a blank. Your head is like absorbing all everything that's unfolding in front of you, while the rest are provided you with the missing links, right? Right? And a private connection of mine. He's telling you, don't fuck up. What did you do? Your responsibility became your own fuck up. Except mine, obviously. Why? I did it correctly by the books. Right? I took responsibility and said, I'm your boss. I'm in charge. You can't stop me. Why? Real life event. You can't say, oh, he did this wrong and he did this. And I said, it's a load of BS. Right? You got to realise a lot of people got set up, right? Who took the responsibility of all those 1,000 people got kicked out? Who got responsibility when I got booted out? Right? You have to go backwards to work out where was the fucking genuine mistake. Right? The mistake is you. Why? It's not the community's fault. It's the railway's fault. Why? You think the North Norfolk Railway is all perfect? No, it's not like a bed of red roses. Do you know why I'm telling you that? It's because it's all true. Don't get me wrong, it's all true, but it's all facts. Why? Why? You're missing something. Why? You got the major key, and you got the major person you need, but you screwed up. So what happens when you're screwed up? The management doesn't give a damn. They're telling you not to allow me back on the platform. What are they trying to do? They're telling you, if you want to keep your job, you got to keep this man off the platform. Right? It's a lie. Because if you live with that lie, you die with that lie. Right? I said, take responsibility. It's time. You got to realise from right from wrong, and you got to establish. The management tells you this, the management tells you that. Acknowledge that the management won't save your asses. Why? Because they could turn around and tell you to fuck off. Why? I'm telling the truth. Responsibility is what I'm trying to give you, right? And understanding and prerogative. Why is the North Norfolk Railway got this problem? Why is they got this? Why they don't understand what's unfolding and acknowledge what is unfolding could be the thing we need. But you have to understand you need me as well. You got to have us both connected. You try to split something up. So what happens when the North Norfolk Railway fucks up? Let me tell you an example, right? How many people have lost their jobs because of that fucking mistake? Right? Of course. A lot of people got sworn at, cursed at, you name it. And I acknowledge that you need a wake up call to say, look, this is all realistic, not a child's play game. This is not, it's realistic that you can't, you're unfolding it every day, but then you're realizing there's something wrong. And you got to say responsibility. Why have we got to take responsibility? Right? A lot of people have to establish that a lot of the diesel team have bad manners. Right? They're not going to come in back and resort the problem for you. They leave you to pick up the breadcrumbs. When the breadcrumbs are left for you, then you got to work out why responsibility has to be laid on the management when the management doesn't know bugger all. Can't read the Thomas the Tank book, can't be bothered, can't be doing this, can't be doing bothered that. No, they're leaving you with a piece of paper under the radar. Why? When you look at yourselves and look at the North Norfolk Railway and the way they handle their bloody staff, look at it. Oh, we're doing a lovely job here. No, no, no. You can't come on the premises because we got told by the management that we can't allow you on. Do you know what? People will get pissed off. Right? They will understand that you been, if you like, not restricted, but you've been hands tied. Right? They tell you to do things that you don't want to do. Right? Right? The North Norfolk Railway is supposed to be a heritage railway, not a fucking damn toy boy. Or a toy girl, even that. Or woman, or even. It doesn't matter. The fact is, the responsibility lies on you because you're carrying a lie, you're carrying a deceit, you're carrying everything. What happens if I told you that Davis Diesel wants to fuck you up from the outside, not the inside of the building? He's laughing his head off, getting away with blue murder and doing this and doing that. His wife was trying to put you everywhere, everywhere. Tom, Dick, and Harry job. Ding, 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 ding. And then you end up with Sydney, who's not well, and he can't learn to whistle. I taught him how to whistle long time ago. Why? Oh yeah, I taught him how to whistle, but then he can't realise what happened. It gave you a clue in your head. So work it out. If I told you that, there is some logical truth to it. The fact is revealing itself to you. You have to establish the responsibility for that railway requires the fact controller, myself, to be on that premises. Because the responsibility that I have to give is a lot more than just giving you respect, honesty, and trust. It's what the management can't understand. They are cuckoo heads. They are cuckoo. Why? They can't realise from right from wrong. They can't tell from why is this is all unfolding naturally. Why is this unfolding? Why is this unfolding? Why is this unfolding? They can't get it in their heads. So what happens? All your management are starting to lose out. Then you're asking people, saying, why, management employment, management employment, management employment. Why? Because the responsibility that you've been given or the responsibility that you want to apply for, right? You won't apply for it because it's too much to handle. Why? Because you got all a steam team plus myself, and you got this little problem saying, why bother dealing with this way when you got a bigger gun? You got a gun that's loaded. Every time he's counteracting our every fucking move, which is myself. Why? I'm taking responsibility of your actions half the time. Right? But that's not the point. The point is you're establishing it's true. It's facts. It's logic. It's respectful. Oh yeah, well Edward, Henry, Gordon, James, Percy, Toby, Duck, all the other engines as well on top. They all telling you leave this, let the fact controller back on the line, or you get this. Oh, they're scared of you. They're not scared of you. They want to confront you. Why? I tell you now, there's a lot of things that you don't realise what you're bloody doing, and you're all crying wolf. You all want this new management. You're not going to get a new management, right? Your responsibility now is to get me back on there before you can get even anyone on there. Because when you think of that train whistle you can hear from a distance, or you can hear this DMU at the distance, whatever, you're going to end up saying, why bother going to that way when you disrespected somebody that's honourable, somebody that's way at the top, someone you fucked up, right? I tell you now, I'll be honest, around the people around the globe, even my family, we keep in contact in this very special, unique way. But we're not going to give it to you on a silver platter, nor the answer for it. Why? The answers unfold naturally. So when you think of saying, oh, he's right about that, he's really restricted on that, and he's been set up like this, and he's been done, he didn't do nothing, what went wrong? Ask yourself a question. You want to take responsibility? Take responsibility and take whatever you got and leave the fucking building. Behave yourselves and go. Why? You don't even realise what you lost could be your greatest asset. Right? You said Oh, we got this, but we don't want him. Right? You told the world them to basically tell them they can't be in. You want the full responsibility and take charge of that North Norfolk Road. You're not going to get it because if you keep begging for management and all of this, you're not going to succeed any further than what you have. Why? Let me put this in stages for you to able to understand. Right? Stage one, you had my grandfather. Stage two, you had my father. Then you have me. Stage three. Why? Of course, you're going to ask that question. The answer's already in the puzzle pieces for you. But you need to work it in your head to realise, oh crap, he's got to be on a platform. Why? Of course, let me put this in another way for you, right? You're going to end up screwing up everything because you don't know what needs to be done. You don't know the procedures that needs to be done to keep me safeguarded, to make sure I go on the platform, making sure I've got my own office. Why? I do the work unless the porter tells me there's a problem, or the guard that tells me there's a problem. Why? I do the work I was meant to be doing, but you won't just say, oh, you want responsibility? I said, if you take responsibility without me, you'd be screwing the railway over. Right over. And then you end up with a bigger problem in the end. Why? You screwed up. Why? Ask yourself the question. If you screwed up right now, it's because you're taking on a lie. Right? Every new employee that will go in there and a new employer that will go on there, they're gonna flame wake up and realise I'm not taking responsibility of this problem because there's too much toxic there's too much toxic, there's too much problem in within it, right? It's like saying to you got to grow up, you got to learn, you got to do this, you got to do that. I may have helped you a lot of the way, but I can only do so much for you. Look at yourselves and look at what you're doing. Responsibility is the biggest number in in anybody's direction. But you don't judge the book by its cover. Why? You really want to screw this railway up, right? You end up with the railway will be dead, right? If you screw it up even more and more and more and more and more and more and more. People that are on there can't be on there. Why? Right? There's a reason for it. And there's a lot of damn good reasons for it. And you're ending up with one solution about this responsibility. I said the responsibility lies on me because it always will be me. Right? You're not gonna win. You're not gonna choose why do we have to do this? Why we have to do that? I said, do you ever know why I'm here? It's all unfolding the correct way in real life and everything else. What are you missing? You're all asking the question that you really want to vitally get down the line. But if you don't watch more than the rest of this timeline, you don't understand how to help me in the correct way. Right? So you know what you're gonna do. You're gonna think about it over, and you're gonna learn the hard way. Right? Right? You lot are like read all the books of Thomas the Tank, blah blah blah, as example, and you'll end up with a dead middle because you didn't realise it was continuing on and on and on. Right? Of course, there is a little problem in the air. Why? Right? There's no problems in the air. There's no problems on the land. Why? Because we're watching you. Eyes and ears everywhere. But you're not going to establish that responsibility. Why we got to take responsibility of the management being fucked? They're going. Bye bye. Why? Because you've got your boss here. Ding, ding, ding. Why am I the key holder here? You're gonna end up waking up smelling that coffee and you will realise why is he so well connected to this railway. Then you're gonna go backwards to time and realise it's my fucking grandfather that started it all for you. Ding 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 ding. Ding. Why? Because he knew all the magic details in his head. Right? It's like me, but I'm a genetic bloodline of what is unfolded. Right? You established that you worked it out, probably worked it out, and you can't say nothing about it. Why? If you tell everybody what's been unfolded, you're gonna end up saying, "Yeah, well, it's has to unfold naturally to keep going. We're doing it as we're doing it. We're unfolding it gently, and we're not gonna tell all of. We're not telling you the major secret or anything. We're just telling you if you respect my grandfather, you'll respect me in every direction. If you don't give me respect, then you've got no responsibility, no every action could be your consequences, and then you end up going to prison. Why? Because the responsibility of learning about me and understanding the responsibility of why the family has to exist is to keep everything at flow. Why? We're not a game changer. We are just basically got what you've got at the moment, right? I know every engine you've got on that railway, right? The North Norfolk Railway's not going nowhere. It's just the way it's played out. So you've got a bad management, you've got a bad porters and guards, and you don't know who are the goodies and you don't know who the baddies are. Get it in your head. Personalities do really well when it comes to justice, right? So you need to realise, okay, we don't use the police, we don't use this, we've got to continue the story and continue and continue and continue until it bloody gets corrected. But you've got to correct the problem first. That's your first priority. Correcting a problem. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't 1,000 people's fault or the former volunteers or staff. Then you've got to wake up and smell that bloody coffee. Ding, ding, ding. Why? You can't get rid of me because I'm your main boss. So work it out. Go forward. Right? The management will never apply for a management's job. Why? Because the fat controllers come back to correct the problem. Myself. Why? Why? Every mistake you do up there, I end up recorrecting it for you. But it has to be face to face contact and acknowledge it. You can't just go round in circles and say, how do we correct a responsibility? You want responsibility for that railway? Okay. If I leave it under your hands, you will destroy it by now. Killed it off, got rid of it, and acknowledge that you fucked up. Right? That's your stage one. Right? It's not your stage one because my grandfather managed to put a safeguard in place for me. So you can't touch me, you can't call the cops on me, you can't do nothing. Why? Because it's real life. Get moving forward. Keep going forward and you'll understand why the cops can't get involved. Right? There's something you're not seeing, right? You're letting it unfold naturally, right? If you keep going round in circles and going round in circles and your head screwing it all off, you'll be leaving your job because you were unfit, right? People that don't know nothing, right? People that know about the magic and the existence of us, we do not discriminate people. But people that don't understand what's unfolding, then they will be booted out instantly. But it will be done delicately and secretly. Why? You're asking for management, right? Employment wise, right? Don't. Because all you're doing is making this problem. You're going to cause problems. Big, big problems. Right? Then the North Norfolk Railways will cease to exist because there's one big problem that you caused for yourself. Right? I try to warn you, tell you, and establish it for you. Right? when it all goes down, it adds up nicely, don't it? But when it all goes down on paper, it all goes correctly, right? You see, a person I know, or what a connection of mine, knows everything you don't, right? You hurting people that are victims, right? And innocences, they all innocent. And when it comes to me, you know I'm innocent. You know I've been targeted, right? We all established about the 2019 issue. But you're not bloody taking responsibility to say, look, we've got to allow these people back on board. It's like saying, you fucked up, you fix it, correct it. You've got a time limit on this. I've got a lifespan of it. Right? You can't take me out because I'm real life. This is why it's problem was a lot of people. I said responsibility, right? Porters and the guards are screwed up. The management are screwed up big time. Why? Because the truth is just hit them in the face. I don't have to poke them. They just hit. Well, I mean, hit in the face. I mean, they actually watching this and seeing it unfold naturally, and that all the paperwork they tore up about my family. You go to prison for that because that was real documentation as well. So all the management that were there before that, well, in 2019, tore up the Hatt family secret in their own documents, telling you exactly what's going to unfold. Why? Bang! Why? I got something they haven't got. Responsibility. Right? Right, Daisy problem is out of the question because she's classified as 18 plus and her timeline is strictly off limits. Right? You have to accept that she booted us all out, including Divas Diesel and his wife. They all played the game, three of them, with Sherry Harkett, who was innocent. What you call an innocent bystander like me. Of course he had his own problems, because he's got this and he's got that and that. Right, the next thing will be responsibility. Why? The management are failing. Right, one day, you're gonna end up waking up and smelling that coffee. Why? You see, when you look at people today, right, even myself, people respect me for one reason. Because I'm the real McCoy, not a child play toy. And every day we talk about these subjects and we go through this like a bullet and we're acknowledging that responsibility is what the North Norfolk Railway can't handle. Why? Because they can't take responsibility for their own actions. Right? They can't understand from right from wrong. What did we do wrong? Right? They read the Thomas Tank books from beginning to the actual end of it, right? It never ends there. It never ended there. Why? Because someone don't dig in a little bit further. That explains my situation. So what happened? Someone in a private connection done his homework. And you lot are all screwed up because you got this missing link, if you will. It's not my link. You got me. You got me. Be grateful, right? But you need me you need me on the premises, right? You've been told by the management. You said this guy can't be on the platform, right? That's bullshit lie. Why? You're not. You're taking responsibility of something that isn't actually of what you would call. You're taking somebody. It's like taking somebody that's guilty, but he isn't guilty. Yeah. So when the guilty conscience come along, you end up feeling like, oh crap, here he comes. And then you say, no, you can't go on there because management said this. Right? One day, the management will actually crack and realise what the fuck else going on, excuse my language. But the management can't see what's unfolding because they're always inside the premises doing their office work. So how can you say, oh, we got orders, but the fucked up part, porters and guards are seeing what's unfolding, ding, 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 ding. They don't have to target me. Why? All the steam team are all on my side, the community's on my side for one reason. Right? Because they already know the truth. Put the two pieces together as a whole and worked it out. Hey, presto! Bus! Right? Then people started asking questions. Why? Because the truth will set you free. And the porters and the guards and everybody else, the management are failing on you. Why? It doesn't matter how old they are or how old young they are, they realise they screwed up. Right? Responsibility. The biggest key of all time. And everybody's asking, I'm taking responsibility of the Norfolk Railway. Yes, but I know it's an alter ego as a Northwestern Railway Company. You can't fucking screw it up. You screwed yourselves up because you haven't had me on a platform to recorrect this, this, and this, and this. And what you're doing, you screwed yourselves up. So people asking for I need this and I need that and I need this and I need that. I need this and I need that. It's gonna go backwards and forwards until somebody kicks it and realise, right, the management are kicking themselves in the head because they can't work it out instantly. While all the community and the world and the global and everybody else and the steam team, they all got the pieces together. Why? They've done their homework. They took a lot of it took them a lot of time. They learnt it through school, college, all of it, but they can't say nothing about it. Why? When they work out something and they realise it's real life, they can't go on blabbing about it, but the problem is the Norfolk Railway are too blind to see it. So what happens when the Norfolk Railway fails on you? They will close down and the doors will close and everything will end up being dead. Why? The steam trains will still be there. The diesel trains will still be there. The management are failing on you. So they're closing it all down one by one. And then all the porters, all the guards, they all closing it all down. Why? Because I'm here. I'm alive. I'm well. I'm doing everything I can to do what's responsibility of of myself, including the Norfolk Railway. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm gonna take over where you left off." You can't because I already chosen my assessor, my son, my granddaughter. Bang bang. Why? Well, you see, when people have all the answers, they don't complain. They just like the video and say it's all true, yes, but then they will say, "Why? We know it's all happening. We all know." Do you know what? Out of all the people I know of, nearly the whole world knows about it. Why? Let me put this in perspective for you, right? People are asking for simple stuff they want, right? They said, "We want this, we want that, we want this, we want that." Right? Don't cry wolf. Why? Because that's what the Norfolk Railway is actually doing on you. So they say, we want customers, we want passengers, we want money, we want this, we want that. They're not going to get it. Stop crying wolf. Why? Because they're acknowledging what is unfolding is the actual truth. It's how I get back in. Why? Because the Norfolk Railway failed on all of us because they can't work it out. They screwed up in their heads. So when people go crying wolf, what do you see in yourself? Now, I'm not just saying this through the porters and the guards and the people that are on the platforms and the management as well. On top, they all gonna come together and they say we screwed up because they have. They screwed up so bloody badly they can't take responsibility for it. So when responsibility is taken on my shoulders, I say, look, you lot are, are not in a position to work there. You guys are not there to play games. You guys have to work together with me. You can't just say, no, we don't want you on the platform. You have to learn to work with me. You can't ignore that because that's your responsibility of saying, let's help this man out. Let's help this guy out. We got, right, the way the community's looking at you, they're laughing at you. They're laughing and laughing and laughing and laughing until one day the the, the problem is the, they're not laughing at me. They're laughing at you because you can't take that what you think is a joke. No, the community is taking it seriously. Why? It's unfolding correctly in front of them. But when it all goes down on paper, like he would do in the book, it will flaming wake you up that somebody is watching you. And they're not laughing at you. Well, the community is, but not even myself. I'm not laughing at you, but because I'm a middleman. So I have to say, look, I understand the community is laughing for a reason. You are not. You're supposed to say, why is these guys laughing? Why are these people laughing at me? Or laughing at us? Why are they laughing at us? Why? Why? Put the two together. What's missing? What's missing? Right, I'm not laughing and I'm not joking, right? I know why they're laughing. You don't. You've got to work out the missing link. Why? This is the thing about the thing, right? We always say this in a many podcasts before. I think it was a few podcasts ago. And I acknowledge the thing before you get it. Bang, bang, bang. But you've got to realise, why is a fat controller got to come to the Norfolk Railway? Right? The community is laughing at you. Right? Not just because of the money factor. Oh, no, 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 no. They're not laughing at me because they know it's unfolding correctly. So I can't laugh at them backwards. The only thing I'm going to do is say to you, you screwed up. They're laughing at you and they acknowledging it's coming to life and unfolding in front of you. You're not realizing what the you're asking yourselves that question. What the hell is going on here? And then the biggest problem with this problem, right? You can't put the two pieces together because you're not really looking at it, right? You think you think it's all a joke. It isn't a joke. They're laughing at your expense. They're laughing at the way you're working, right? They know why they laughing at you. It's the main question. They're laughing at you. They're not. They are very cross in some aspects, but they're also taking something in seriously. Why? Right? The intelligence of this should have come to you directly. The Norfolk Marine porters, the guards, and everybody else should have taken this on board. When they go and start working on there, the management are starting to fall. Why? They can't. The management can't help you. They can only support you, right? They can't give you knowledge like, say, like, don't let this guy on the platform. right? They're not allowed to do that. That's discrimination, right? So what happens when the responsibility is on your shoulders? Who screwed up? You can't blame me for being honest. You can't blame the community because they're laughing at you because they know something you don't. You lot are, at the North Norfolk Railway are bloody like saying, what the fuck else going on there? Excuse my language, but this is you lot at me. Right? I'm cross at you. Why? While they're laughing behind me, what are you gaining? Nothing. Because you're fucked up. So they're laughing at you. While I'm getting angry at you. So as long as I've got that little procedure in my head right now, that tells me you're not paying attention to me. Right? Everybody that's listening to this podcast right now understand the procedures and protocols of health and safety, protocols for this, protocols for that. I've got protocols for everything in my head. Even the red tape, right? We established that, right? When people laugh at you, there is a good damn reason, right? The North Norfolk Railway, the way the community sees you as a bunch of bullyists, right? The North Norfolk Railway are going to decline that because they're thinking, no, we're just doing our job. We're just doing this, we're doing that, right? I know you're taking responsibility for your job, right? But you've got to counteract and say, look, yes, the community won't come to you. Why? Because they know something that's unfolding that should play out correctly. They're not gonna fucking intervene and jump off a cliff and say, "Oh, let's go back to the Norfolk Railway and save them." No, they will make a barrier and say, "Fuck you, we won't listen to you because you screwed up something." Right? So the community is laughing at you. They're not. They're not being on your side because they haven't got nothing to give you. Right? So while I'm in the middle, hearing all this out from every angle, I'd rather respect the community than you lot. Why? They're not going to laugh at me because they know I'm dead right. Why? You're asking yourself, why is the website changing? Why are the internet's changing? Why are all of this changing? Why is this is changing? Why is that changing? Why is that changing? You go through head to toe on this, right? And you're ending up with the North Norfolk Railway being the North Western Railway. Why? Ask yourself a question. What is the North Norfolk Railway doing on the inside that you're not aware of and the community is laughing at you? Right? The truth is setting you free, yes, but on a longer note, who's lost out? The responsibility is not on you. It's the community that's standing behind me and laughing at the North Norfolk Railway for their bad expenses and bad responsibility, blah blah blah, going down the line, and then the porters and the guards trying to work it out in their heads to say how does he know the extra part of the story? It's already been on the internet for a very long time, right? You see, whether Robert Audrey was going to give you an extra piece of story that you weren't aware of. Click, click. Here it comes. Right now, who's fucked up? The community aren't. They're laughing at the North Norfolk Railway. Why? I'm not laughing at you. I'm actually with them, guiding them and supporting them while they're guiding and supporting me. Why? My steam team was behind me, the whole community's behind me, and the diesel team were all fucking you up. Watch it. Right? You end up with nothing. Because you're thinking, oh, we're doing this because we've been told this and that. Shut, get your heads out of the clouds and realise it's reality. Facts, logic and truth are coming to you. Right? I'm not going to clap my hands right 1, 2, 3 and acknowledge it for you. Right? You're going to understand this. Right? My grandfather, my father, and myself been maintaining that railway for you. Right? The North Norfolk Railway isn't the North Norfolk Railway, it's the North Western Railway. Why? It's the truth, it's the logic, and it's a fact. Stop using the North Norfolk Railway name all the time because it's not going to help you. Right? So the community is laughing at you. They don't want to come to you. They find that it's a laughing expense. Right? The management is falling. Right? The management will end up losing their jobs because they can't work it out. Every new employer that you get will not work it out as quickly. They won't even help the person out that's got set up and the 1,000 people that nearly got set up as well in different directions, right? And you're ending up with nothing. And the community is laughing at the North Norfolk Railway because of your mistake, right? They're not laughing at me, they're laughing at you. The porters, the guards, the whole community that go on there, the community that actually physically go on there, are the people that are not aware of the problem or not aware of the stories unfolding in front of them, telling the truth, being logical in front of your eyes. And you have to acknowledge why we come here if the fact of controller's not on the platform, right? You've got that little question in your heads, right? What was the way you knew, or the way we knew, or understand the acknowledgement that the third gen fat controller has still got Great Yarmouth, Lowestoft, um, Norwich, Cromer, West London, and Sheringham, and Rayborn, and Holt? Why? It's a North Western Railway Company. Wake up! Why? People are not going to laugh about that. They know that. But wake up, the M&GN circle knew about it. That's why they're not laughing. Because it's not a joke, it's a real life event. And a private connection in the circle already backed me up and said, look, I know it, but I can't say too much. You have to announce it. Right? I did the announcing, I did the approval. Right? He helped me, I helped him. Why? Friend of a family. So work it out. It's a connection. Why? People are getting to a point where they understand where things are unfolding. Right? People understand as a real life event. Right? Not all of them are going to accept it. A lot of people will, and they will acknowledge it. When you acknowledge it, it's unfolding in front of you. But you've got to take responsibility that the North Norfolk Railway is off limits. But it's hard for a lot of the community that are laughing at them because they know the truth. They rather stick behind me and stand up behind me because they know it's the truth. I would not lie to them. I won't be deceitful. I'm not a liar like Diesel or a liar like Daisy or or Diesel's wife, for example. I'm not like that. But a lot of people don't get it. And there's a lot of people saying that there's a lot of things that aren't true in every problem that the North Norfolk Railway had. And the North Norfolk Railway just screwed themselves over. Why? You're asking yourself the biggest question of all, and there's one thing that's overlapped your head. You need to start working around it to get round everything and help yourself, not me, because I already solved my part, but I've got more to go. You lot have to realise, why are they laughing at us? I will just tell you straight, right? You're going to end up with one big problem in your head. It's acknowledging the fact that a real life event, you can't tamper with it. You can't. It's like a Temple Prime directive in the end. But then you've got to realise it's all true, it's all unfolding, it's all naturally going unfolding, and you're ending up with this. Right? A lot of people won't take responsibility. Right? I am. The community knows that I am. Right? They don't need to unfold that because they acknowledge that. Right? When people do these jobs for you, you don't spit them in the face and get rid of them. Right? When people do these things for you, you accept what you got. The North Norfolk Railway will never come to light to understand the facts, the truth, and the logic. Right? The NWR is coming into power. The NNR is being destroyed, being inside out. So it's like the same railway route. The only difference is the name will change. And everybody will wake up and smell the coffee. Even the management will end up waking up smelling that coffee and realise, oh fuck, we are fucked up. Excuse my language, but that's a total. That's what they've done. The new management will take over, which they're not allowed to because they got the fat controller that's going to help them out. And the third gen will get restored his name, clear my name, as they say, and they're going to wake up and smell the coffee. Why? Because they will do the same research as the whole community did. Why? And then they'd be laughing at you instead of the new management that's taking its place. Right? So every new management that goes in there will end up having the same bloody problem. Why? So when you think you got away with murder, or you got away with this problem, or you got away with that problem, or you got away with that problem, it's not going to wish wash anymore. Not with everybody else anyway. But the community understands it. They're laughing at you at the moment. They don't want to go near you. They think you're a toxic dump of waste. What Riff will say, get time to get rid of this dump. Why? It's taking responsibility. Riff will say to me that you are not entitled to have that way. Right? And that is the true fact because that's the logic in it. Same with understands. A lot of people that I know of, Gator as well, and quite a few others, that is that are friends with the Steam team in a lot of ways and one, and establish that you lot have got problems, right? A lot of problems, right? The community hasn't. The community that read the books in the past understand what's unfolding now. And unfolding here, now, whatever. Right? We have to establish responsibility is a big key to all of this. But the North Norfolk Railway will not take responsibility because they lost that right when they applied for a job. Right? When you apply for a management job, you're fucking it up. Right? Because you don't see what's unfolding, you don't acknowledge what's unfolding, you don't understand why the fat controller has myself have to be on a platform. Why? Because I am the one that's supposed to be there with you, guiding you through this. But that's my responsibility, not the porters, not the guards. They should have said, "Oh, we got told by the manager not to let you on." I would say, "Screw that! I'm more higher up than them. I always had been." And they will try every chain of command to try and pull me out, pull me down. I said, no, they won't be, because the hats are always been available to you. Even myself and all of that, my grandfather, my father, myself, we always been here. But the thing is, what you didn't see, look at the mistakes. Look at my grandfather and how he handled it, and the way he put himself on the line to tell you don't tamper with real life events. What did the morning do? Lost 30 years in time. Why? Because my father made a fucking mistake. Excuse my French. Charles Topham II made a mistake. So what did he do? He fucking screwed it up, screwed it up, and screwed it up. Why? Why? He got married to my mother and had me. That's not the problem. The problem is I'm his alter ego. Several words would say, I'm the Fat Controller, third gen, yes. I'm Thomas the Tank, yes. But what does that tell you? What does that tell you lot out there at the North Norfolk Railway? What is different about me that you don't see in my father? My father's Diesel 10. Work it out. What did he want to do when he realised that Diesel 10 came to the island and said, I want to destroy that lady now? What happened? He tried to track her down, tried to destroy her. But unfortunately, what do you think happened in fiction as it did in reality? Right? He found Lady and then basically destroyed her by pulling her hair down the driveway, excuse my French, and I wasn't even born yet. This is before. This is the steam team that was there before me. So I'm basically Thomas the Tank rolled it again. Bust my buttons, sir! That's right, Thomas, in every angle! And what do you expect? He couldn't kill his own flesh and blood son. That's why Diesel 10 couldn't get to me. He was trying to pinch me, yes, but he couldn't. Why? You don't get it, do you? The truth will set you free. Why was Lily in the picture? Thank you to my grandfather. His other personality, besides Henry, is Burnett Stone! Wake up and smell the bloody coffee! What do you think happened when he was born? When you think it was 1,000 years, no, it wasn't. It was 100 years before him. His mother was Lady. My great grandmother on my grandfather's side of the family. His mother was Lady. Keeper always starts the power. So while he was born the way he was planned to be, Henry was born in November in the early 1900s. While you lot are looking at what the fuck, you probably got your head screwed on. Yes, I have. So with Henry already born before my grandfather's, work it out. So then the next thing on the list, let me ask you, well, who is his sister? This will give you a hint. Does Lily ring a bell for you guys? The North Norfolk Railways discriminated my family for fucking generations, even before the railway was even completely formed. So work it out. While you lot are all fucking selfish up there, not the community but the North Norfolk Railway themselves, selfish cunts as they are, and don't even realise how lucky they are until they fucking destroyed it. So you try to destroy the really useful person, of course, but then you've got the really useful fat controller this time, third generation. So when you had the fat controller second gen, my father, he was the nastiest piece of bloody work. Diesel 10 on the loose. Oh, my grandfather, my great uncle was part of that steam team. Oh yeah, he was. Do you know what? When my grandfather was born on my mother's side of the family, this is my grandfather her father on her side of that story. He did all of Henry's story. Work it out. When you think it's 1,000 years, it wasn't 1,000 years. So you lost lady long time ago. When you think it's 1,000 years, it isn't. The guilty conscience is that the North Norfolk Railway is too fucking afraid to admit it's real all this time. Hit you right in the face when you less expect it. Oh yeah, thinking you're going down with the ship on this one? No, you're not taking me out. Why? Because I'm flesh and blood, real life, Hat. Yes, but while you're now thinking twice about this, you want to take responsibility for that railway up the road? I said don't go there. What did I try and tell a lot of people? Not to go there. Why? That's why the whole community is laughing at you. Because they know it's real, not fucking fake. So when you got Lily in the picture, why? It played it out in the correct way, but it was anagrammed in a certain ways that unfolded in a different direction. So when you lot are all seeing this unfolding correctly, which is a lot of the community are doing, they're not laughing at me, they're right beside me. I'm a living legend. When you lot at the North Norfolk Railway want to take over something that you can't. When a Hat member family rises, so does steam. Steam engines arise. Even the steam team arrive. Why? You got me and Thomas the Tank, obviously, as one person, but then you had Diesel 10 on the previous host with Fat Controller. So work it out. Then who was the first? My grandfather, on my father's side of the family, was James and the Fat Controller, so top of that the first. So work it out. People that believe that a lot of people don't even realise that such a race existed for a long time. So when the North Norfolk Railway wants something, they're not going to get it straight away right now because they discriminated, they fucked up, and they turned everything upside down. Why? When the management employment has been offered to you, say no, 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 no. Why? Because I've been really useful to tell you not to go for it. Because it will put you in a load of shit. So what happens? You have my grandfather's mother on my mother's side of the family. Then you have my grandfather and his older sister Lily. Now, why do you think I told Lily, Henry, Charlie? Work it out. It goes down a generation, don't it? Who's the next one down the line? Who's the next gen? My mother. So then work down again. Then she gives birth to me. So work it down the chain. Who's the next one down the line? Richard Topham Hatt. Then the next one will be Emily Helen Hatt. Why? The community are not laughing on this one. They're laughing at the North Norfolk Railway because they screwed up. So while all of this is all happening in front of you, you turn the other cheek and you ignore it while the community's still laughing at you, then you're asking why they are asking it. The big question. Why is the North Norfolk Railway failing? And then children will say, oh, they screwed up. That's what their fathers and mothers would say. Then another 30 years will be lost because you made a mistake. So I'm telling you, responsibility is taken on head on. Why is the steam team and myself taking it head on? Why? Because we're the good guys. We're not the bad guys. So when you say, Oh, the management told you you can't be on the platform. Do you know what I tell them? You're fired. All of you up there. All fired. Doesn't matter what rank you are or porter or guard. You're all fired for one reason. Because you don't deserve that job. The community will start laughing at you then because the truth is just told you. You got Henry, you got my mother, you got my father and my grandfather. Then you're asking who extra family was there involved as well as the Coopers, the Hatts, who else was involved. I'm now going to reveal that truth to you. Have you heard of the Lynn family? Lynn. So you think you've discriminated over the Manson and the Hatt and the Lynn and the Cooper's family? That's four pieces, you bloody morons. Wake up and smell the coffee. The North Norfolk Railway just been laughed at by the community because the community worked it out. Right? You got the Lynns, you got the Coopers, you got the Hatts and the Mansons already married beforehand. So the Hatts were already in check. So then what happens? People starting to see sense. Right? There was a song that actually made this a little bit more understandable. Right? But you have to acknowledge what's unfolded. The porters, the guards, the management, they all fucked because they haven't got me on a platform. Why? They screwed themselves over just because they couldn't believe it. So if I told you that the Coopers, the Lynns, the Hatts and the Mansons rolled into one, boom, 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 four pieces, and then you end up with screwed up. Then you basically got Thomas the Tank in between, the bloodline of it all. Right? You can't target the Lynn family anymore. You can't target the Hatt family because we're too powerful. You can't target the Cooper family because then you're screwing up everything else if you do. Then, what happens? You see, Lily and my grandfather, George Henry Cooper, if you like to call him correctly, right, knew what was going to unfold then. Then Reverend Robert Audrey wrote the story on all our families into one bucket. So what happens? You can't destroy that bucket. It's reproductive and you have to get married, have kids, and reproduce. And keep the continuing of it. You don't want to destroy it, that's for starters, because you'd be screwing yourselves up. But at the same time, look at the North Norfolk Railway when they find out they all screwed up. The management will all be fired. The porters and the guards got a choice, right? They screwed up when they needed me the most. Now they've got me, now they don't want me. Why? Because they won't take responsibility for their own actions. So look at it. It's all there in black and white, and everybody's moaning and everybody's groaning. And I said, it's all bloody true, it's all true, it's all true. Oh, and the community is laughing at the North Norfolk Railway, but they're not laughing at me because they know I'm telling the truth. So you got the Lyns, you got the Coopers, you got the Hatts and the Mantles combined, and you're basically ending up with me. So you screwed up what was meant to be unfolding. You guys are all the community are not, they all on my side. Why? Because they know I'm coming out with the truth. So where's the responsibility of the North Norfolk Railway not admitting to their own mistakes? They won't do because they've always blamed other people besides. Right, if the management do something wrong, they always blame the people below them. Why? To boot them out. So when they get booted, then everybody's asking questions. saying, "Why did you get booted out?" And then they will know it's all a bloody setup. So what happens when a setup has occurred? The management won't look back and say, "Oh, we can correct this problem." No, they will move forward with that problem behind their backs, and they will realise they screwed up, and they can correct it if they wanted it to, if they've got a clever mind up the top, and realise they've done something wrong, and they need to recorrect that, they need to recorrect this, and they need to recorrect that, because there's people's reputations on the line. So when people's reputations are on the line, who takes the full responsibility for it? The management. The management ends up having a guilty conscience, but then passing it on to porters and guards and all the rest of the security as well on the Norfolk Railway will make them guilty because they took on a lie. So who takes the responsibility then? Then you end up being guilty. They end up saying, then the management will be laughing at you lot because then they'll be laughing at you, but we won't be laughing at them. Why? Because the management fucked up. Right? The community is laughing at them. The community is laughing at you. Why? Responsibility is the last thing to think about. When you go home and you listen to this hard, really hard, and understand, why do you think I am dead serious about everything? In every angle, in every direction. So work it out. It's all true, it's all logic, and it's all facts. Now you've got to let it unfold naturally, as you do, and recorrect that problem before it gets worse. Because you will see bad things will happen. So you've got a fat controller, and then you basically, myself, obviously, Stephen topping out the third, and then you've got basically adding in, this is what will happen. Then you're ending up apologising to all my family, apologising to everyone else that was booted out as well, that was set up, been accused, which I overheard over with my own eyes and ears, and then everybody will have to be apologised. So you have 1,000 of us, plus myself, makes equals with the one extra. But by booting us all out, you screwed yourselves over. So what happened? The management are not going to take full responsibility for it. They just have, "Oh, we got to just carry on with our jobs and everything else." Do you know what? The community will laugh at you even more and more and more and more and more until one day you end up with a crack on the head saying, "Why are they laughing at us? Why are they doing this to us? Why are they doing that to us?" Then the bloody bad management will end up coming to the surface. Why? You have a diesel team. You have a new steam team on the block. Work it out. Oh, crap. Yeah, you'd be saying, "Oh, crap." Right? And you're going to be saying, he's been telling us the truth all the time. And acknowledging that we are at fault. And acknowledge that we didn't see what was unfolding. We didn't see what was undoing. The community does. And they don't lie. They don't bullshit. And they will carry on listening to me. Why? Because you got the lens, you got the hats, and you got myself. Why? Plus you got the Coopers on top. Why? The lens, the Coopers, the hats, and myself. Work it out. Plus you got the Manson family on top, which is blood entwined. Why? You made a big judgment of error, while the community are laughing at you. So you're the ones that have got to pick up the pieces and realise we are sorry, we are sorry, we are sorry. We've got to try and get you to get that, to be apologetic. It's not about saying, "Oh, he's coming up the line and he's still banned because we've been told by the management." I tell you, bullshit that, let me on. Why? Because I'm your only piece that's missing out of your puzzle piece. Then you'll be screwed because you end up saying, "Oh, it is real life." Oh, fuck. We can't touch this guy. We can't do this guy. Do you know what will happen? The management will not take a full responsibility of their own actions. They will never will do, and they will still employ new employers, new management, and then you're gonna have that same problem rotationally. Keep going on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Right? Let me tell you something. There's a one reason why you should not piss me off about it. Right? I want you to be acknowledged by the facts, the logic, and the respect for it. But did I actually tell you the reason why the diesel team acted the way that it did when they shouldn't have done that? Right? When the story unfolds in front of your face, what do you do? Right? It's unfolding in the correct way, but you've got to fucking get it in your head. Why is this guy so determined to get back on the line? I said, if I don't, your lives will be screwed. Your reputation will be screwed. Everything will be screwed. Right? And then you're ending up asking for new management this, new management that, but it's not going to help you. That's not the concrete basis of it. The problem is, you got me, but I just learned a power of business throughout a year, 2 years, I would say. Not just from working, just working beyond that. Right? I took responsibility every damn day. Right? You got to work out why is he so determined to be back on that platform? Question from you. That's the North Norfolk Railway's position. And the rest of you, not the rest of the community, because the community are already aware of it. They don't need to be lectured too much. But why is this is all happening? Why you got the Lens? Why you got the Coopers? Why you got the Mansons and the Hatts and the Hatt family member itself? Why? Every so often we come back to recorrect problems, right? Problems that are recorrecting need to be recorrected face to face contact and sort the problem out. And acknowledge that you can't have that mistake over your heads. You're going to end up with this problem, you're going to end up with having that problem. People are going to start complaining still. Why? Because it's saying a bad railway makes a bad management, makes a bad railway. Right? We all understand that. But the bad management are starting to go. They go bye bye. Why? Because they can't see the truth, how it's unfolded. So they're not taking full responsibility at all. They just try and sweep it under the carpet, as they say. But every time they sweep it, I unsweep it. Why? Think about it like a job, right? A lot of people will take responsibility of their own actions, consequences, and acknowledgements, right? A lot of people do good stuff, some people do bad stuff, some people need help in certain directions, but they need guidance, they need this, they need that. But you guys are like saying, right, he's just come into the fold, blah blah blah, right? We got him back on the line, and we got to admit that we were in the wrong. That's what the North Norfolk Wherry's got to do, while the community is still laughing at them. Why? The community will end up realising how the community will understand everything, while the North Norfolk Wherry will be laughed at. While the North Norfolk Wherry be laughed at, then they were going to start asking questions they want answers to. And a lot of this is all done for a reason. A lot of people say if you want something fixed, you have to understand the boundaries of responsibility or responsibilities as a whole. Right? A lot of people think they know it all and they think they got it all on a plate and they think they just got this and this. I said there's two sides. Right? There's two parts to story here. You got your first part. Read the books to understand why is Stephen Topham Hatt so important. Right? Watch the flaming first video and you will understand why. Then you will work out all the other videos that I put on here and acknowledge to you this is what has been unfolding. This is what's been acknowledged. I know there's new engines coming in. Why? People are asking for things, need things, acknowledge things. But the North Norfolk Railway should be closing right now because they've got to take responsibility of their own actions, their own consequences. So acknowledging the management is changing and the management is saying, oh, I take this job or I take that job, and they end up refusing it because it's too problemised. Why? Because when they realise that that place is so magical up there, they won't touch that North Norfolk Railway with a bench pole. Why? Because it's only the hat material. Only myself can go up there. Why? But I've been banned. Don't get me wrong. That's the truth on that. They said I've been banned for a setup. Banned for this. Banned for that setup. Why? A lie blocked me. So if you think of me like an online internet or user or whatever, and they blocked me for obvious reasons, or they blocked me because of that, and acknowledge it, and they say, "Oh, blaming hell," you know what I mean? So you got to acknowledge that you are in the wrong. When I say the North Norfolk Railway won't take responsibility of their own actions, and understand the bad management makes a bad railway. It always had done. Thank you very much.